Tor pick.
Yeah, but look how fast they can break down Guangzhou's shield, right? He can get to the point, but he's not going to live long at all as Rascal will take him out on the Torb. And then the Torb turret can also kind of watch the cross, help protect some of these supports.
Yeah, but Violet got caught out there. We saw the Dynamite come through and Crimson was able to find Trichoban. The Shock extended pretty heavily into that map. After getting the pick on Guangzhou, they sent Rascal in with an immortality field.
So I like the Torb pick. I think the Torb pick can be quite good, especially if like D.Va plays a little bit aggressive.
To build Bob very quickly. As a result, already Decay has that available now as Dallas crossed the 30% threshold. D.Va not too far from a duplicate as well as looking to try to assassinate Arns. He actually gets away. The Bobby's down. Note's been removed by Mothno, and D.Va's going to drop in now on that Orisa, using that health pool, but rather frivolously at that. Is he very quickly is knocked out of Duplicator. Now the Tactical Visor is active for Arns. Guangzhou pulled into the line of fire, but doesn't take much damage. He's able to back up, but the Shock have taken the point amidst all the fighting, and Guangzhou control the point. Decay wants to try and wrap around and get into position here, but gives the capture attempt now. That Gravitic Flux didn't look nearly as effective as Guangzhou shrugged it off with Fortify and Decay. Pole position, literally finds himself 3 kills, 2 of them being headshots, and San Francisco laid waste as Dallas now can set up a nose barrier here. Gets a good amount of damage on the Sigma, and the Shock want to follow it up, but Trichoban is hit with a Discord Orb, and Violet is already gone down. Arnstow has to push forward, but he can't get any purchase, and now it's Super v Doha in the Orisa matchup. Super's forced away, and, well, Rascal just ran straight into Guangzhou there. A lot of Orisa action going down, and Doha's already been able to build up a supercharger. And there it is, the fuel. Keep the Shock away from the point. Maywall gets thrown in here by the Shock. Both teams are going to try for this kind of play, but here it is, Decay. He's starting to beam them down. And yeah, Super has to back right on up on top of an immortality field to keep him alive, but the fight's already done. Trichoban got wrecked. He's moving to the Orisa here, and San Francisco look a little unsettled. Maywall will keep get the Shock at least onto the point here, but Dallas just break back through and reclaim.
Yeah, they were almost able to take it. It was a nice Maywall from Rascal. Everybody was on the opposite side of the point, and then
gives the Fuel some time to wrap back to the point. Hastily, Barry's being deployed now as Guangzhou trying to keep his team protected, but the Shatter comes in from Super. It connected with Doha and Guangzhou, but not before the Blizzard came out. Decay's trying to work in for the high ground. He already found Arns, and Doha's wrapping around the side. The Shock are dealing with threats from every single direction, and they don't have the individuals to cope. They'll be run down again, and the Dallas maintain control now. Push Shock, turn around. They use the Lucio to close the gap and get on Decay, but they're lacking players now. No Rascal. Arns is a long way away. Here's the fight, though. Coalescence, the first half of it doesn't get a lot of value because Violet was walled off from the rest of the Fuel, and now it'll be frozen solid. Dallas Fuel getting the hot foot early from Arns, but now they put him on ice. And the Fuel looking very pretty here with a first map win convincingly on Nepal.
And HP is a little scared to pressure him down. As you probably thought D.Va could have went a little bit more aggressive, but still they pick up the kill. Smurf getting very low. You don't need to chase that because Smurf's going to make it to the Mega, so now you can turn your attention to the point.
Guangzhou is down though. D.Va couldn't get inside the immortality field. Oh, he was just out of it. The cool breezes, the halcyon emotions, he couldn't make it there, so he doesn't get to Sanctuary, and the rest of the Dallas Fuel just get kicked off of point A. Again, I mean, it starts with Guangzhou being that first main kill. The Shock was transcendence from the Fuel. Supercharger now down for the Shock, and Rascal's got a copy of Batista. Of course he does. He now wants to push forward. Amplification Matrix gets thrown down. Supercharger has been removed here for Smurf, but Guangzhou falls. Not a great start. The anchor's down for Dallas, but Note's able to find a kill in that off angle. Unfortunately, that leaves him stranded out at sea and eventually removed.
Yeah, you just end up losing too many players for the Dallas Fuel, specifically the front line, but just talk about how
eventually though he will have to take front and center and act as a pivot here for the Fuel to play around. Gonna be Amplification Matrix coming out from closer. Crimso's close to the Transcendence, but they've already lost Doha. Not the ideal start to the fight here for the Fuel. And as an Amplification Matrix thrown down by Violet, has to go for the Immortality Field as the Accretion whirs past him.
But look at this, Ontes, fantastic position up on the high ground. 2 headshots, kills Note during his Gravitic Flux. Smurf gets rid of Guangzhou's Superchargers. Everything's falling apart for the Fuel.
Smurf is discorded, but it's only Harmony right now for the Shock. They are working in concert. What is that melody you say? It's just doing well considering double shields are in play right now. Decay sends a warning Dynamite to the high ground, and Arnsan is in trouble. Yep, those sticky bombs are going to clean him up pretty comfortably. And Doha now can wait for reinforcements. He's probably aware that Moth is below him in a choke somewhere. Would like to shut the Zen down when given the opportunity. Yep, there it is. Moth removed by Doha, and Gamsu sat up on the point, just taking a step back, letting them come. And the Fuel get a hard-fought W on point A.
Yeah, it's not a bad defense.
The Fuel definitely can weather this storm for now.
It's going to be 3 shields for both teams, as Rascal also was a Sigma. Doesn't matter for Doha, though. He gets 1 with the Gravitic Flux, 1 on the way down. Decay just shooting them out of the sky, as Dallas will keep the cart rolling. So in an offense where the Shock come through and they take all 3, that's a tough ultimate to just kind of throw out for nothing.
And now the Shock, Matt, they just built 4 ultimates in that fight. They saved the Transcendence, which is probably the most important part here. Choihoven's going to get thrown up now, trying to go for the kinetic grasp while he can, and Bob finds Decay elsewhere. Choihoven wants to push forward, and Note's in trouble! Arts from the left-hand side on the Ash brings down the house, and San Francisco now move ahead in time bank.
With this.
They're looking for big value, and they're likely to have it now that Doha has his duplicate online once more. His amplification matrix, Bob runs straight on through it there. And it's Choihoven to go down first. Doha plays that high ground as a Zenyatta. Maybe the Transcendence to help him through the last fight. He has to build it first, but that doesn't seem to be a problem at all. 2:15 on the clock, and Transcendence is online. Pop it while you can. And there's so much healing, way more than the Fuel really need in this fight now. Doha can sit back, try and work Choihoven down with a focusing beam, and here comes Ansan on the Tracer. Forced to recall early. Smurf drops in here with a pile driver. Immortality field thrown down, but Smurf was out of it and discorded. Ansan gonna fall. Now Moth has to try and step forward. Is it Lucio? He hasn't had much chance to play that so far. And the Fuel finished the round. Violet's going to drop down with a window available here, and Choihoven has a lot of extra shield. Bob just burnt on down. Not enough room, I guess, for 13 players right now. And Doha is hunting. He's looking for the Widowmaker. He's found it. Can he find a kill? Sticky Bomb connection. They trade out. Arts, of course, on the Ash now. Gamsu goes down. Arts found 2 kills despite all that scrutiny he was facing, and now Don't pushes forward. No wants a bit of that Gravitic Flux action if he can make his way there. He used it earlier on. Crimzo now Transcendence on the point, but Note's a little bit low again, taken to the quarry. Here's the Transcendence for Moth, and the Shock shoved them off. The Fuel can't get there. Quick cheeky double from him to be safe. Now with no one really to contest him except for maybe Ansar, and that will require Decay to position badly. So Ansar's down. Doha really relieves the pressure, not only on Decay but the rest of the Fuel, by getting those couple of kills and by playing a bit more aggressive, a bit more proactive. Now the Shock are kind of stuck here.
Yeah, and they can hold him here for a bit. Oh, and they walk right into it. It's an Ant Matrix inside, and the Shock just wipe the floor with Dallas. They pick up 5, and that should be the point.
No way! Oh. The Fuel were looking so good. Face first. San Francisco just took him to the School of Rock, baby. Straight.
That's an interesting look.
Well, make sure the TP doesn't get destroyed and no one takes too much damage as they push towards the point, and they're in. But Ansar's found Crimzo. Huge amount of the healing now unavailable for the Dallas Fuel. So what do they do about this threat in the backline? Ants misses a couple crucial shots, but Violet does not. Decay is down, and there is the pick on closer. The Fuel have run out of players, and that would have been fine if it wasn't for that pesky Widow. Ansan uncontested. And they can't, chill.
And they can't stay close, because did you notice, like, Smurf throws out a halt, and then Rascal just goes for the multi-freeze, just trying to get everybody trapped. As Gamsu comes in on Wrecking Ball, as that is not going to turn out well for him.
Oh, Mr. Gamsu, I don't feel so good. The Wrecking Ball doesn't get much done. He gets halted pretty much immediately here, and Smurf is ready for this kind of shenanigans. Now Decay gets Pulse Bomb, nice stick, but Immortality Field gets thrown down. Decay still able to finish the kill on Moth. The Pulse Bomb got rid of it. It's time to throw down. Dallas get 3 players with the sound barrier. Doesn't feel great. This better be a big EMP, and it's chunky. Smurf gets blown up immediately by the D.Va Bomb. Nice little combo, but Choihoven managed to survive. Moth now comes in with that Transcendence, and the Shock is just waiting on reinforcements, but the Orisa is going to be slow. Maybe Smurf switches, and he does. The Wrecking Ball will be on the way, but Moth is down as he comes out of Transcendence. Coalescence from Crimzo helps him burn them on down, and the Fuel are going to get across the line map, but they are looking haggard. And Ansan finds another kill on Crimzo. It's just vile. The pure damage output from the Widowmaker cannot be denied. And now it's going to be the 2 Wrecking Balls trying to play dodgem cars on the point. The Shock don't really have the place to contest properly now.
No, it does not look like it. Although Moth comes back and they get a boop on the closers. No, they all back out, it looks like here. Oh, wait a second. Smurf wants to come in, get a touch. You still have Moth here.
No.
Moth's here as well. There's no way they turn this.
No. This is audacious to the nth degree. Decay, okay, he gets away. Point still captured, so now the Shock, unfortunately, have to feed a bit of ult percentage over towards the Fuel. Dallas come up with the goods here. The switch to the Wrecking Ball. EMP. Itchy finger. That's 5 players there. Nice catch. Decay's in a great position now to benefit from the lack of shielding available to the Shock, but they don't find any kills. Finally, they get one, but they've lost Crimzo and Gamsu already, and that one fell flat on its face.
And I think what happens is that the EMP doesn't connect. Or, well, no, it connects. I got you.
D.Va just going to play the off angle here. Sticky bombs. All right, closing it. He's lost his immortality fielder now. Yeah, I mean, look at that. That's so brutal. And you knew, Matt, that Crimzo knew that was coming. He already backed away. Closer just wasn't fast enough here. Decay gets Violet now. It's Battle of Widowmaker. D.Va trying to come in here. It's going to be a bumpy landing. He finds the kill, but Trehurban's able to follow it up, and the Fuel are no closer to capturing the point now after that trade. They needed more than that from D.Va. Nodes surrounded. Gamsu and Note back to back now. Immortality field is there for the Shock though, so they're basking in the rays of the drone. And there will be no tick on point B, Matt.
They don't get a tick, which that's probably the worst.
So that Note might be a little bit isolated here from the backside. What can he do in that corner? Plenty, apparently. Good connection on Trehurban, Matt.
And it's a Transcendence that they use to go in there and try and save Note and push, and they drop their Amp Matrix as well, the Dallas Fuel, but they have no front line. There's no way they can push in here to contest the point.
And there it is, the San Francisco Shock, their insistence eventually pays off, and they have over 5 minutes to capture. There is some damage from the Gravitic Flux, but Note's not able to do too much there. Ants goes down though. He's able to chase the Widow, remove him, but Closer's also missing here, so some of the healing now gone from the Fuel, and Note has seen better days. Gamsu is hacked right now as well. That's going to be a copied Gravitic Flux from D.Va. The Trehurban shrugs off fairly comfortably. Now towards the point, there's a supercharger laid down by Gamsu. D.Va is back in Echo form, and he's been removed by Moth at long range. Trehurban's a little bit on his own right now, and Decay's waiting for the peak, and he gets 2 off the back of that infra site. What a way to trigger the relief valve here as the Fuel fight different angles right now, and Anson's getting pushed by Crimzo. The Canadian wants to run Anson down, but now he's going to hide in his little bunker, his little pillbox he sets up with a poison vine.
Oh, he is so dead.
Yeah, that is what they say is not it. And now D.Va can clean up the fight, and this is getting a little dangerous now for the Shock as D.Va inches closer to that Blizzard.
So we've had really 2 fights. This infra site. This will buy you time, and look at that big Gravitic Flux there from Note.
Again, Immortality Field, Note mollified in much the same way. They've lost Gamsu. How have they lost Gamsu? Okay, big pivot is down, but Trehurban could be in trouble. Great shield left there by Smurf, but D.Va now is overextended. Straight into the Blizzard, the Rascal dropped down. The Shock are happy to part with some of those key ultimate if it means they can catch the Fuel out, and they've done so. Now moving to the point, everything gets leveraged to Gamsu, who is frozen solid and held in place, and now in overtime we go. Rascal's down, but Anson's chirping in from the high ground. He's found 2. D.Va couldn't break the deadlock with the Doomfist, and now Trehurban set up with a Gravitic Flux in tow. Anson picks forward a little bit more now, gaining in confidence as the Fuel lose in number. Note is down, Gamsu crashed on the point. 1 tick was all it was needed. 1 tick will be what's provided for the San Francisco Shock.
And it's not the way with the Baptiste gone, so not a good start for the Dallas Fuel as they lose a few more players.
Okay, good late flank from D.Va though. It actually enables him to get rid of Moth here. Note's able to find some as well. Smurf's still standing. If he goes down here, then the Fuel have actually managed to salvage this fight. The spawn, though, is much closer for San Francisco. Seems confident enough to turn his attention now towards the bulk of the Fuel here. And Gamsu, focusing beam. Okay, he's able to get inside the Immortality field, but Rascal now turns into Sigma, and this is a great place to switch. A lot of opportunities for Hyperspheres to bounce on around, but Moth goes down to Sticky Bombs. Rascal does get the Gravitic Flux now. 3 players caught in that, but it's the Transcendence that comes out from the Fuel to answer. Both support ultimates from Dallas, but they're able to stay alive here. They keep the Shock at bay.
You get the hold on the Rascal to keep him there.
D.Va, that's an opener. It's a good one. There's still a Widow threatening right now for the Fuel, and Decay is making his presence felt. 1 shot to Violet cleans him up, and he takes Smurf so low it forces Moth to go for the Transcendence now. This will allow the Shock to get closer, but they're far from done. Supercharger has been exhausted. Immortality Field deployed. That'll run out in a couple of seconds. Smurf wants to push forward now, and Chuikobi gets a Gravitic Flux. He uses the flying element to try and get the high ground position, but Ansan goes down. This is looking good from Dallas, man. Doha pushes forward now. The Shock are running out of numbers, but Decay's down. The Shock get 2 kills. There's only 4 players up for the fuel right now, but San Francisco are desperate to get back to the card. They get close and almost get across the line there. But Gamsu's still standing strong. Rascal's discorded. Matt forced out of that line of sight. Here comes a Wrecking Ball caught inside the Gravitic Flux. This is a problem now for San Francisco. As Smurf gets dropped, and so do the odds of the Shock getting this point.
And this is what happens when you have a lot of these games where you rely on a Widowmaker to get the pickoffs, to get you over the line. A little bit of a Tracer battle here as Ons is able to get one. Not enough, though, as Dallas gets a hold.
Cisco Shock have a little bit of overlap when they have way more healing, so it's up to Decay. Can he find a pick? Misses the first shot, infrasight help, but Ansan has it as well, and the Shock are not providing any opportunities for Decay to get kills here.
They're giving them absolutely no angles. Like, the positioning from the Shock here is so good, playing on the inside of that choke point.
Doha, he's finally burned down, gets a little bit too close to Rascal, and closer falling, the fuel is on the move. Gamsu and Doha push around. You see that focusing beam. Chuikobi, great use of that Immortality Field. Keeps Chuikobi alive, and now he's getting healed up, but it's not fast enough. He's discorded. He's low. Violet's already out of the picture, so it's just Mox's healing that the Shock have to rely on. Time ticking. The Dallas Fuel is so close. They can smell it. They're starting to burn up. Smurfy's low. He pushes ahead of his shield, and that might be his undoing. But Ansan finds closer. Gansu and closer are both down. Doha is low on help, but still in a position to contribute to the damage. Ansan needs to find another pick. Needs to get rid of Doha here, but Doha's chasing. Ansan's hit with the sticky bombs. He doesn't quite go down, but there it is!